Hi,
Hey, good morning.
good morning, or whenever you're watching this. I'm Leela Harris. I'm the owner of Expanding Consciousness in Kansas City, and I'm here with Madeline Newkirk, owner of Art Body Soul in Memphis. And we're just going to make a little video here to talk about a very special workshop coming up that's going to be hosted by Madeline at Art Body Soul and co-facilitated by myself. And the name of the workshop is Communicate with Your Heart, a workshop on the beauty of vulnerability. And we're using two very powerful processes, process art and the Dalian method. So Madeline, do you want to talk about process art for a little bit?
Sure. So first, I was just going to say that I'm standing in the studio. So I wanted people to get a chance to see what a lovely space it is. We have beautiful natural light for painting. So I am a process art facilitator. And so in process art, sort of the logistics of it is that we paint in silence. We usually start with a mindfulness practice to get centered and connect with ourselves. And then we paint and process and just really tune into all of the materials and also to what's going on inside of us. So the paint, our personal energy, the paint brushes, the canvas, and see what wants to be painted. So we try to stay in the experience and in the unknown and just allow what like I just said, wants to be painted to develop on the canvas. So it's really a lot of fun, and I'm finding in my personal experience that when I slow down in that way and really tune in, I really do connect in a big way with my heart, and been very, very surprised by some of the messages that I've painted, and it's very cool. So I know you've done some process painting too, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm not a facilitator for it, but I spent about 3 years regularly doing the what we called it here was process painting in Kansas City, but it's the same approach, and it, especially along with using the Dalian method for myself, it was so amazing. And just to work with my creativity. I know my creativity was a struggle before. There was a lot of self-judgment, doubt, criticism, just all kinds of things. And it was an amazing process for me to step into facing those things, but also getting past them. And it was really great to have that safe space to understand the doubts that come up, the fears and different things, or maybe even just confusion, or, it could be anything that might be there that just needs to be addressed, but also the freedom. And just a lot of how I create is like a child with painting. And it was really fun to accept that. I'm not a very good illustrator kind of person. So just to allow that, just to enjoy it for its own sake was also beautiful.
So when we're in the flow of painting, it's a very peaceful, fun place to be, right? Just full of creativity. And when we step out of that flow and get blocked, that's when all those frustration and stuff might come up. And so it's a great process to really see a mirror of your life, right? So that frustration is also often what you're feeling in your daily life, and maybe you're not even aware of it. So it is a wonderful tool, and we're really excited to combine it with the Dalian method because it is my personal go-to for all things. And so, Leela, do you want to explain a little bit about the Dalian method?
Well, the Dalian method is where whatever is going on that's blocking us, we can get in touch with what's really happening inside in a very individual, personal, real way. What the block exactly is, and what it does is it helps us release that block, transform it, and then also see what's underneath it, which is often, for example, if it's fear of trusting ourselves or fear of jumping into something that we really want to do and there's doubt coming up, we can address that specific doubt with the Dalian method and see where the root is of that doubt. Because some things are from childhood, some things are from past experience, but then there might be other things that we aren't aware of that are contributing to what we're experiencing on the surface. And so transforming those and then coming to a place of awareness where, for example, if it was, I'm afraid to trust myself, I don't trust myself, I'm not good enough, it would be maybe as an example, I am good enough. I can trust myself and I'm going to trust myself. And that's not a flip from negative to positive. It's a flip from false to truth. So it's not just a kind of a fluffy idea that, oh, I'm good enough. It's a real deep realization when it happens through the process of using the Dalian method. It's a knowing, a
Right.
seeing inside of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really knowing it, you would really embody that experience. And so it's not, like you said, it's not fluffy at all. It's,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think a lot of people don't realize that maybe that only about 5%, 5 to 10% of our, how we behave and our cognitive awareness is, I mean, we only have access to about 5 or 10% of what we have experienced, what we know. And so a lot of times our behavior, I guess actually most of the time our behavior may be because of what we don't know about ourselves, what we're holding in our bodies. And so it's really important to become aware of these things so that we can stop the behavior patterns that we've been creating in our lives.
And what I experience is that whatever that percentage is, 9-10% that we're using, it's also what our potential is. So it's like 10% of our awareness that we're operating from, but also 10% of our potential.
Right.
So then that grows. When our awareness grows, our consciousness grows, our potential, our capacity grows as well. So we're accessing more of our own inner potential, which is unique to every single person, what's inside of them. So that's why we often call it a journey of self-discovery, because you never know what else you're going to discover about yourself that you didn't know was there or you didn't know was possible.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe this would be a good point to say some of the things we've discovered about ourselves. And so, for example, for me, I spent at least 50 years of my life in hiding, and I never used my voice, never spoke up in situations. I didn't really connect very well with people on a heart-to-heart level because I was afraid to speak my truth. And so I really transformed that with the Dali method. And it's very empowering to have your voice after so long, and it's scary at first, but you know, I'm out here doing it and actually beginning to enjoy it. And I get that's probably the biggest thing for me. Some other things have been I've really come to trust myself and trust this method, and knowing that when I do have something come up, that I can go inside and find clarity for myself. I don't have to seek outside of myself to find answers, and I'm very self-sufficient, right? Self-confident, knowing that I don't have to continue seeking. I guess I would say those are the two most powerful things. What about you, Lila? Do you have anything?
Well, I just want to say now you're doing television interviews and like, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, for me, a little bit of what you said about maybe in a little bit different way, maybe fear of being visible, fears of speaking in front of people and showing who I really am. And I spent most of my life just hiding behind a mask and trying to be someone else other than what I was, because I thought whatever I am is not good enough and it's bad and all these kind of like beliefs that we internalize. And so then in the process of using the Dalian method and doing this kind of work is just basically removing that mask and discovering who I really am. And also working with the fears, a lot of different fears, and releasing those and going deeper into myself and my own strength and my own like heart's clarity.
And I think you came off of antidepressants and stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
I spent about 15 years on psychiatric medications and depression, anxiety, but also just to function. I would get overwhelmed with, simple or maybe what we think of are normal daily things like keeping a job and doing laundry that was overwhelming for me. And so I had trouble just functioning. And so the Dalian method is what helped me the most get off the medication, but then also deal with the things that the medication was suppressing. So it wasn't easy for a few years. And then I started to realize, there's a lot more to me than just being able to function and survive. And then I kept going and fell in love with the process. Short story to a long, but yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I think that's what happens with the Dalian method. At first, it seems like, oh, maybe am I going to get through the 72 minutes or whatever, but it becomes something you love. Yeah. And it doesn't take that long to really appreciate it. So I just like to end my part anyway with just the logistics of the Dalian method. I know people want to know when they ask me. And so just briefly, it combines the breath, which powerfully connects you with your body and your internal knowing. The chakra system, if you don't know what those are, they're energy points in the body. We use movement, out loud expression. Like, am I missing any elements? But all of those combine in a step-by-step process in which we follow the directions of the method to go through the process. So it's very user-friendly. It can be done with a facilitator. Both Leela and I are facilitators. You can also be done on your own at home. There's a kit you can purchase. And Mata is still available for work as well. She does private sessions, and she also has.
Mata is the one who created.
Oh yeah,
sorry. Yeah. And also, the Dalian method is very experiential, which means it's just about going and being where you are, moment to moment. So sometimes it sounds complicated, but when you experience it, that's how the best way to get a feel of what this process is about. And one of the reasons we're combining it with process art, because they're both similar. They're both about the experience and discovering yourself. So people that tend to like one are often really appreciating and understanding of the other, or who can benefit the most. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, and so the workshop is coming up here on May 10th and 11th in Memphis at Art Body Soul, and the early bird price, which is 15% off, ends midnight on May 1st, which is just around the corner. It's midnight, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Yeah. So join us, and it's going to be an incredible workshop. I'm really excited for it. So.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. I'm glad that you'll be joining us here in Memphis for this special event. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.